plunge our country into illegal wars of choice. He's using a secret police force to terrorize our communities, kidnapping and detaining immigrants in squalid conditions, and even killing our neighbors. He's working hard to suppress the vote and weaponizing the Justice Department to intimidate pro-democracy groups, including ours. He's proving every day that he thinks he's above the law. Not a president, but a king. Okay, all right, we know what we're up against. But are you ready to mobilize and do what it takes to turn this country around before it's too late? Yes, yes. It's time to give Trump and all the craven oligarchs enabling his fascist power grabs a reminder. This is the United States of America. And here we do not do kings. There can be no doubt that we are engaged in a critical fight for democracy. But a core principle behind all No Kings events is a commitment to lawful and non-violent action. Does not belong to Donald Trump. It belongs to us. Trump and his enablers do not own patriotism. They don't own the American flag. They don't own the Pledge of Allegiance. And as a matter of fact, the Pledge of Allegiance was published and popularized by a woke, democratic, socialist minister who believed in public education, the rights of working people, and the separation of church and state. There are some truly important concepts in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all! 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 Woo!
You know, the reason why we're out here is not just for us. It's for young people like Mr. Sproul. We want them to live in a country where they truly can be free. That's what this is all about. We don't have kings in America. This is a democracy. I saw somebody walking around with our state seal on their shirt. That state seal and our motto says what? Sic, semper tyrannis. That's always the tyrants. It was a warning to tyrants trying to take over our country, but it was also a warning to each one of us that we have to make sure that we don't be silent in times like this, because silence is complicity. And so for the 2 minutes that I have, I want to make sure that you're doing one thing. Yes, we can demonstrate, we can rally, but demonstration without legislation, it won't work. And so all of you who have already voted yes, raise your hand.
U.S. citizen and a human being who wasn't looking for trouble, but he was on his way home from work, and he was detained by ICE. A U.S. citizen was detained by ICE. He was left crying and anxious, not because of a crime that he committed, but only because of the color of his skin and the language of his family. They tell us to be afraid. They tell us that one man, one office, one king holds the keys to our safety. But look around you. I see a truth that they're desperate to hide. Power does not belong to a king. It belongs to the people. It belongs to the community. As a community, we cannot let fear dictate who we are or what we stand for. We cannot stand idly by and watch the democracy and the land that we love turn into a relic of bureaucracy. The government we are currently under has tried to silence us, has tried to make our voices null, but we cannot let that happen. As a community, we have to be the ones trying. We have to try for the immigrants, we have to try for the families, and we have to try for the people who are in a land far away. Because we have to try to ensure that the reality that we are currently living in isn't the future. We cannot give up the fight, because we have to be the voice for the people who are still not here, who are hiding in shadows out of fear. Some might call these kind of protests un-American, saying that we aren't patriotic, but I call this the American protest. This is what our country was founded on. This was the liberty and justice for all. Because the Constitution doesn't say we the citizens, it says we the people. And right now, we the people have the chance to make a change, have the chance to make our voices heard, and have the chance to demand action and change. Let's get the record straight. Being undocumented isn't a federal crime. Seeking a better life for your family isn't a crime, and working hard to build this country is not a crime. My parents, my grandparents, and every immigrant in this city and in this country have shown more courage, more grit, and more soul than the current convicted felon sitting in the Oval Office. I'm 16 years old. I should be worrying about my final exams. I should be dreaming about a college that I get to go to next year. But in the land of the free, I'm currently worrying about whether or not my parents will be at the dinner table tonight. They call our neighbors aliens. They call our friends targets. And they call us criminals. But let me tell you, the only thing that is criminal is the system that kills people in broad daylight. Last year in Norfolk, Josue Castro Rivera was killed by ICE agents. And let me ask you, was he a threat on his way to work? Was my cousin a threat on his way home? No! They want us to be powerless. They want No King's Day to be a dream. Well, they act like the monarchs can snatch our families and snatch our father's home away. But let me remind you, kings are a relic of the past, and we are the architects of the future. I'm 16 years old. I shouldn't have to be a revolutionary. I should be able to be a kid. But if my age makes me too young to vote, then let my voice be the alarm that wakes up every person and tells them they still have the power. We are not aliens. We are not targets. We are the power of the city. We are the hearts that build, and we are the hearts that hope. And we are the voices that refuse to be silenced. So let me ask you today, when they come to our neighbors, will we be silent? When they try to rule by fear instead of by the law, will we bow down? No!